Hey, sweeties. We've got a good one for you today. A delicious one pot oven baked chicken and rice dish with green beans. That's right, a complete dinner all in one pot. You are going to love this. The one pot I'm using is the Ninja Foodi Neverstick 5 quart, so we can fit the entire dinner, one pan, not a whole bunch of batches, none of that. You're going to love it. But first, please subscribe to Sweet Savant. Hit that thumbs up, that notification bell. Now let's get into this delicious one pot oven baked chicken and rice dinner. Let's grab our cutting board and get our chicken prepared. This is an OXO Good Grips cutting board, which I really like. It's got the rubberized portions on the side to keep the cutting board from sliding around while you're cooking. Now we're going to trim up our chicken thighs. I'm cooking 4.5 pounds of chicken thighs today. We're going to cut off the excess skin and some of the fat, and that's just going to help us have a nice uniform piece of chicken. And then something I like to do is to cut a little, maybe about a 1 to 1.5 inch slit on both sides of that center bone in the chicken thigh. So we're just going to take the tip of our very sharp knife and run it down along both sides just like that. And that helps for our chicken to cook quicker because our heat can penetrate in through the bone, through near where the bone is, and it also helps for our seasoning to get all up and through that chicken thigh. So that's just a little something that I do. I don't see other people doing that very often, but I think it helps a lot because you don't want undercooked chicken. You want it to be cooked all the way through down to the bone, and this helps a lot. The heat penetrates and it gets it done faster, so you don't have to worry about undercooked chicken. Don't cut all the way through the skin, just the meat. So we're going to finish cleaning up the rest of these chicken thighs, and then we're going to mix up our seasoning blend because you know we've got to have well-seasoned food around here. We'll start our seasoning blend with some lemon pepper and some adobo seasoning, and both of these have salt in them, so we're not adding any additional salt to this. Some paprika, you can use smoked paprika if you like, and some dried oregano. Make sure that is nicely well blended, and then we're going to sprinkle that on our chicken thighs. We're going to season it and season it and season it well. Make sure you get that seasoning into those slits that we cut on both sides of the bone in the chicken so that we can get the flavor all through. Flip it over, get the skin side, and then don't forget underneath the skin. Lift the skin up and get that seasoning underneath the skin. We want to season it so well. Everything's going to be delicious. You're going to love it. And then we're going to put this in the refrigerator. Overnight is best, but at least 3 hours. Now, it's the next day. Let's chop up our onions, our garlic, and we're going to chop up some red bell pepper, but I'm out of red bell peppers right now. So actually I'm going to end up using some jarred roasted red peppers. You know, it'll do in a pinch, but you know, grab some red bell peppers when you're at the store. So you just want to chop up your onions, smash that garlic and get it into nice small pieces. And then the roasted red peppers, actually these already came in I think strips, and we're just going to dice them up and get them ready for our chicken and rice dish. Remember, we're pretending these are sweet red bell peppers, but these are roasted sweet red bell peppers, but it's fine. It'll do just fine. Preheat our oven to 350 degrees, and now we're going to get that 5-quart Ninja Neverstick premium pan out, and we're going to put the chicken in the skillet, but the skillet is cold. We're not preheating the skillet. The skillet is cold. Put that chicken in, skin side down. And in this case, it's okay to crowd the pan. We're putting all these chicken pieces in side by side, cold skillet, and then we're going to turn this on to medium heat, because what we want to do is render the fat from the chicken, and so much of the fat is in the chicken skin, so we're going to cook it first mostly on the skin side. And you see, we didn't add any oil to the pan or anything. The pan is cold, no oil. Pack that chicken in there in one layer, and then we'll turn the heat to medium low and let it take its time and let the fat render from out of the skin. And you'll see in just a few minutes how the fat comes out, and it's already bubbling and getting brown. So that is our goal. We want a nice brown skin. We're not quite there yet, so we're going to give it a little bit more time on the skin side, probably about 10 minutes in all. We'll cook it mostly on the skin side for now, and then we'll flip it over and let it get browned on the meat side. So we'll move it around because it's such a large skillet that it doesn't brown evenly on the stove. Now look at that. That's the color that we're looking for. Nice and brown, crisping up in its own fat. Flip the chicken over and let it cook for another, say, 5 minutes. Our goal is not to cook it all the way through, because remember, we're going to add the rice and put this in the oven. Now we'll remove that browned chicken. A lot of the fat has rendered off. We've also got some nice brown goodness. That's the fond. That's a lot of flavor. So we don't need to keep all of the fat. We want to keep some of the fat, but we want to keep as much of that fond as we can. And this is why we need to cook over medium-low heat, because you don't want to burn these bits in the pan, because that's going to give a burn flavor to our rice. So keep the heat on medium-low. And now we're going to pour out some of that fat that came out of the chicken, leaving about 2 tablespoons in. And now we're going to soften our onions and our red bell peppers. And again, these are already roasted, so they're already soft, but we're pretending that these are sweet red bell peppers. We're going to hold on. Don't put the garlic in just yet, because that can burn. We're still keeping the heat medium-low. We'll soften the onions and peppers for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then we can add our chopped garlic into the onions and pepper mix and stir that around and let that cook for another minute or so, still on medium-low heat. And then we'll add our rice. I'm going to add, this is extra long grain white rice, and we're going to add that in and let it get coated in all of that fat and even toast a little bit. We're going to stir this around maybe about 2 minutes, and let that the seasoning and the fat and the flavor get coated. Let's coat that rice, and then we will add our water. We're using water in this case, and I'm using powdered chicken bouillon. And again, the whole recipe will be in the description box. When you're ready to make this, you can just look in the description box. You can use chicken broth for this if you like. Add a couple of bay leaves for that extra je ne sais quoi, I don't know what it adds, but you need it. And then a couple of teaspoons of the Knorr chicken bouillon. Now you can use, chicken stock or chicken broth if you have it. I actually really like the Knorr chicken bouillon seasoning in most dishes. I add a little sprinkle sometimes just for that seasoning flavor. So add that Knorr chicken bouillon to our water. Even if I was using chicken broth, I probably would use like a low sodium chicken broth, and then add a little bit of the Knorr chicken bouillon as well. And now we have some frozen green beans. These are haricots verts. That's just French for green beans, but these are from Whole Foods, and I like these because they're nice and thin and tender, and you just sprinkle a layer on top, and that's going to give our vegetables. So we have our chicken, our rice, and our vegetables cooking all in the same pan, a complete meal, a complete one-pot meal. And now we're going to put our chicken pieces, our chicken thighs, on top of that green beans the rice, the broth, and everything. One layer. And remember, our chicken is not fully cooked yet. It's browned on both sides. We're going to finish cooking it with the rice, the green beans, and we're going to bring this up to a simmer. And then we're going to cover it and put this into the oven and let the rice absorb all of the flavors that we've been building up. This is so delicious. It's really one of my favorite dishes. And make sure you put the juices that came out of those chicken thighs while they were resting. You put those juices in there too, because we don't want to lose any flavor. Now we let this come up to a simmer, and we cover it and put it in our 350-degree preheated oven, and we let it cook in that oven for about 25 minutes. And then once the rice and everything is done, we're going to pop it under the broiler just for 2 minutes to crisp that chicken skin back up. And we're done. We are finished. Our rice has absorbed all of that liquid, and it cooked in the chicken juices, the chicken fat that we rendered, the onions, the garlic, the red peppers. Our green beans also cooked in there. Remember, these are frozen green beans. Pull those bay leaves out. You don't want anybody to get a little bay leaf surprise, so pull them out if you can. If not, it's not that big a deal. But this is what you want, that golden kind of crust, the sauté. Truly a match made in heaven, chicken and rice. It's so good. Please subscribe to Sweet Savant. Hit that thumbs up, that notification bell, and y'all have a delicious day.